Okay. We should be good. Yes, we're good. Good. Okay, we're moving on. Oh, howdy, Xavier. Hey, Nardi. My cats have the zoomies and are using my room as a NASCAR track. Ah. Don't drug your cats, please. Or if you're gonna do it, at least record it. So we can all laugh at the videos. Well, I don't think we have this shot, so let's get this shot. I can't remember, is this the same relief that you see at Fortified Manor? I actually can't remember. I want to say yes, but it's been a while. There we go. I'm assuming there's nothing like this for the rest of the area, so let's just do a quick look around. Not that quick. Something just buzzed in my ear in my pocket. Okay, something weird's happening. Don't care. Oh! How did I do something to my control? There we go. Why am I upside down? Game? There we go. This isn't the time to be upside down in this area. Water. Yep, that's about what I was expecting. Oh, we got sword boys here and here. But book boys here. Completely forgot. I've gone through another journey to get pictures of the final battle, and I noticed there's a corpse sitting overlooking the edge near the ruin-strewn precipice site of Grace with a rusty sword model. Overlooking the edge near the ruin-strewn precipice site of Grace. Do we have that yet? No, we don't. Do we remember what item was on it? Maybe like Serpent God Greatsword or something like that, maybe? Just to remind myself. There we go. Okay, yeah, so 6 petals. Any knights here? One knight boy. Fascinating. So we have a highway, but no tiling. And then we're here. So there was a road from Gate Town to the Karian study, then back to the academy. Huh. And then we finally get Erdtree tiling for this side. God, this map is so jank! The Serpent God Curve Sword Corpse didn't have a sword by it, oddly enough. That is a kind of funny little, detail. So it's possible that these things actually predate the Erdtree tiling on this highway. Actually, now that I think about it, probably not. Probably because this highway was probably invented before the Carring Study Hall was a thing. This I already covered. Woo. Yeah. Even at ×5 speed, it takes forever to grab these things when on the horse. Actually, out of curiosity. There we go. Yep. Damn it! I was like, does backstepping work? No, it doesn't. There's our temple. Alright, bye-bye churches. So these are different from the ones we saw at the Carring Study Hall, huh, Xavier? They look similar enough. 6 petals, blue. I think they're the same stock types, too, maybe. Or is that what's different about them? Are they that tightly close together when they're clustered like that? I don't remember that. Uh-huh. That's good. Yeah, this isn't burning. Okay, this basically confirms that the lake didn't extend to here originally. The lake used to stop here. Because we have all these conifers, which were growing here and fine, then the lake waters came in and killed them, like they've done to the plants we've seen, the big trees we've seen elsewhere. Because for some reason, the water seems to kill all the trees. I guess they just can't take being waterlogged, I suppose? Hey, elders, welcome to the chat. Are you new? I don't recall you, but I'm gonna assume you're not. And I just have my goldfish memory. As is typical. Can we start calling them crystal or glintstone flowers instead of blue flowers from now on? Sure. We'll call them crystal flower. No, because that might get confused with crystal buds. Let's call them, glintstone flowers. Yeah, I think that's fair. Yeah, I'll call them glintstone flowers. Or, how about, glintstone blue flowers? That way we make sure that we're talking about the blue flowers, but we know it has to do with the magic glowing ones. But yeah, glintstone blue flowers. Yeah, okay. I need the map. I want to look at this on a map. Oh, another deploy platform, huh? Oh, that makes sense, because there's puppets on that area. More dead trees because of the poison. Yep. Do we see this species anywhere else? I don't recall. I feel like it would remember. Is it the same species as this? I don't think so. Or at the very least, it's not the same model without the foliage. Yeah, and these are all silver still. Okay. I'm already here, why not? There we go. I'm your biggest fan. Oh, is that so? Oh, Elders, you're in the Discord, aren't you? My brain probably doesn't remember the avatar, that's why. I feel... you signed my, breast once. Oh, did I? I got my Abyssal Archive last week, then I pre-ordered the new book, so you'd sign my forehead someday. Oh, I gotta... Sorry, man, it's the drugs. It just does something to you. The gazebos are fun and a great way to stay in shape. Alright. Yep, I'm safe. Good to know. Narde, I posted some pictures of the corpse with the sword. Oh, you did that, Xavier? Thanks so much. Loki, you see the thing I sent you the other day about the gazebos being follies? Yeah, that's what they're called. The Japanese term is, it doesn't matter. Gazebo, folly, they're all the same thing, right? But yeah, there's a Grace Point where they're called folly, right? Here? Folly by the lake or something? Excuse me? There we go. I got cucked by a crab. Still haven't gone to Round Table, by the way. Yeah, I need that map. Let's get that real quick. Nitro power! Yeah. I'll talk about the history behind them and what they're used for. I do vaguely recall you mentioning it, Nardi, but my goldfish memory does not remember the specifics, no. Oh. Where is it? There we go. What did the map do to you? Also, we don't really get a lot of cases where they show their heads. There we go. Oh, me. Did you have to put the map thing right there? Yes. The answer is always yes. So you have, like, the same type of flowers, but not glowing, huh? I wonder if the blue flowers could be somehow related to sorcery, and then the glowing ones have to do with, like, super, uber, mega concentrations of sorcery. So it's like, it's normal blue flowers in, like, this sorcerer village, but then, like, with the dragon, he's eaten so many sorcerers, and has so many, so much, glintstone power that it has, like, super uber charged blue flowers. Glintstone flowers. Or maybe they're just completely natural. Who knows? Oh.
You're new surprised no matter.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, nothing crazy here. S-Stock is association with Godric. Same thing with Kite Shield. Then we got some of the sorcerer stuff. Lantern. I want to say this is just generic, and they put this here because they felt it was a good time to give it to you if you didn't get it from, like, the Weeping Peninsula or wherever they like, drop it. And you got the Slithing Stone, which is fine. By the way, there are glintstone flowers in the Spirit Color Cave. What? That's interesting. The Spirit Color Cave, huh? I think this is the cookbook, right? Yeah, it is. Oh. This is gonna ruin things, so. Get out of here, horsey! There we go. I didn't want that thing in the shot. Also, I didn't want to leave without doing this. There we go. By the way, Loki, the corpse with the sword I'm talking about had cotton on it, which I did not know until now was a usable item, not a crafting one. Huh. I assume by you mean usable item is lootable, right? Uh-huh. Spirit Collar Cave is on the lake where there are large groups of spirit jellyfish, which is in close proximity to the Stargazer village. Cough, cough, that is true. Got something to do with the water. Yeah, this is good. Good contrast. I feel like yeah, I think I might like that shot better. Alright, so we got that corpse jotted down, because it's like the only notable corpse of this area. We know all this, we don't care. My grammar was so shit, I'm sorry you had to read that, bestie. Don't worry, I managed. Listen. Nardi. I've been able to read through Iman stuff, like, with, like, 80% accuracy. I think I can read your bad grammar on an off day. Honestly, I'm sorry that I'm the one that has to read it. Because, oh boy, I seem to never be able to read. I never find this thing, so let's get the shot of it now before I forget. But yeah, I just noticed there's not really a proper road to get to Karia Manor. Is there? Yeah, we want to go here. Ah, we still want this. I thought this would give me the map I wanted, but no. Actually curious. Yep, that's glintstone. Very obvious on the model. Yeah, so it looks like Agile, but with glintstone added to him. Uh-huh. I'm curious how much you can level up with just runes you can collect in the field. Like, ignoring bosses, except I guess required ones. I'm sure someone's done the challenge for that. That seems like a very obvious challenge. What do I do with runes without actually using the ones from bosses? Just from those you can loot out in the open world or something. Okay, so yeah, these are victims of the... These are victims of the murders done at King's Realm Ruins, right? So you go this way. Yeah, there's no sign of a road. I don't think we even get a dirt road, do we? No, we do. We do get a dirt road. How far does it go? Pretty far. It's kind of weird that these guys are taking this thing away. Though I guess you could argue maybe they're going to the academy, but we'll see how it goes. Huh. Wow, never mind. This road actually goes pretty damn far. I didn't realize. Also, don't piss off the damn stupid jellyfish. How many times do I gotta tell you people? Oh my god, this dirt road doesn't end, chat. Who needs highways, right, Karia? Oh my god. Finally! It feels like I hit it. Oh no, it just takes a... It's just obscured by all the trees. But it seems to continue this way. No, wait! It's a separate dirt road. Huh? Why? Two dirt roads that lead to nowhere. What? Alright, so it does eventually hit a nonsensical point here. Alright, we're going back, chat. There's a volley that takes you to the King's Realm Ruins, northeast of Gate Town. Yeah, if I remember right, there's the way gate there, Purified Ruins, Lascar Ruins. I want to say there's also one in Southern Gate Town somewhere, but I don't recall. There we go. Alright, Northern Leonie Electro. Finally, there we go. Alright, so we can be pretty confident that the lake didn't go farther than here originally. That they basically maintained it to keep it going this way. So next question is, how far did the lake go this direction? Which again, this makes sense. We have the church here, we have all these follies here. This looks like the part where the follies stop. We have like a little bit here, so it looks like there was at least some signs that the... Of course, it's possible the coffin cemetery was set up only after the destruction, and they didn't have one originally, right? We have the graves here, which are probably for the cuckoos. There we go. Again, I don't care to go to Karia right now. More of the blue flowers. Is the Runestone Precipice the only cave with green glintstone? That I don't remember. But yeah, I do recall the color being a little more like a aqua green, right? I actually don't remember exploring here that much. Yeah, I don't know if I ever explored here with my other characters. Alright, I'm curious. Oh, of course, that makes sense. Also, we find some of the finger creepers here before we even get in. Do they all have blue, nails, chat? Have I just never noticed this before and they all have these blue nails? Or is the nails actually different per each, area? The more you know. Oh, let me move this. No, as you can use it to dampen your footsteps. Uh-oh. What'd I do? I moved my leg, and I apparently briefly unplugged the wire. Whoopsie. Oh no, what are you doing? What are you doing, game? The ravine. Noted. Dead trees, dead trees. Dead trees, dead trees. Yeah, this is just that, I think, yeah, this is just that the water here was a lot narrower at one point. It didn't extend this far. Like, it was much more of a clean river. See that here. So yeah, the water wasn't this extensive originally. Soporific grease. Jeez, I wonder why. If I had to guess, probably the nearby Albanorex. Nah, it's not gonna work. Oh my god, what'd I do? Where do we go from here? Oh, more of the balloons. Well, those actually I'm aware of, right? Those are the ones by the Karia Manor, so that one's not crazy. Yeah, so trees on the edges of a lot of these islands and stuff are being killed, the big ones. Which tells us that, yeah, the lake didn't go this far originally. Yep. So let's see, we have a narrower river that's going through here. Maybe it has like a pond area, but it's hard to tell. Well, trees and stuff were growing here too, so maybe it like cut like straight through here. I can imagine that the ruins falling disrupted, like, the normal river flow, causing it to spread out, and it just ended up going out of control because of the ruins. Because it's kind of like, okay, it sort of is a little backed up, so it causes water to flow back up and then overflow, and... yeah, I can imagine that being a problem. Yeah, again, look at all the dead trees where the Wandering Mausoleum is, which again tells that the Wandering Mausoleum was originally on land here. So all this was probably on land at one point. In fact, I wouldn't be surprised. I would be surprised if nothing more than maybe a small, thin river was flowing through here originally. Yeah, Liurnia of the Lakes, quote-unquote, seems to have been more so a... like, it seems like right now it's a big lake, but it's quite possible it was a bunch of smaller rivers and lakes at one point. And that's only recently become this one giant lake because of, well, the cuckoos. I've been allowed to just grow out of control. But alas, we must explore. There goes Loki, blame the Albanorex for everything. They are the problem. Those damn stinking silvers. I'm telling you, chat, you get rid of the Albanorex, every problem the lands between would have been solved. America would not have gone crazy. You see, everyone likes to blame Erica, thinking, you know, she's just kind of unhinged, she's a whimsical person, prone to extreme mood swings. You know what? That's just being sexist. We all know the real problem is those goddamn Albinorics! Without them, Erica would have never done anything. It's just all them. It's all their fault. I actually like that better. There we go. Fuck the cuckoos! Me and my homies hate the cuckoos! I personally think we should be blaming Radigan for fucking with Marika's vibes like that, to be honest. I agree with you, Nardi. Radigan is the ultimate fuckboy. Prove me wrong. Change my mind. Yeah, I think that's good. And we have so many dead trees of the big trees here, too, that I have to start questioning if all of this was originally on land. Like, how commonly do I find these dead trees here like this? I knew there was the Fulgur Bloom somewhere. I was like, I'm certain that I've seen these things somewhere before. Also, I want to point this out. Is it a coincidence it's at this tower that those Fulgur Blooms are manifesting? I can't remember. This is not one of those that has the golden, it doesn't look like it, that has the golden, glintstone, right? It's just the portraits. Person just likes his art. This is, Tetsu's or something like that? Mm-hmm. Sorcerer's Isle. I'm just wondering if Fulgur Blooms could be somehow caused by the work at this sorcery tower. I can't and won't. Radigan is literally the worst, and I stand by that. I don't know. I'm sure he has some redeeming qualities. I mean, for one, have you seen him without a shirt, Nardi? I'm told that he's just hot. That has to count for something. Okay, at the third, Fulgur Blooms with no surrounding glowing yellow flowers, but that can be used by the water. Yeah, I agree with you there. Ow! Ow! The water could be the explanation for why we don't see those, because I don't think we ever see those golden flowers in the water, right? Yeah, I'm starting to wonder, chat. I'm starting to wonder if all these areas where we see trees and stuff was all on land. There was a very narrow, thin river that flowed through here. It was blocked by these ruins falling, causing massive backup, and then eventually overflow. And it eventually just kept on growing and growing and growing without any maintenance or care, and spread everywhere. So it'd flow here this way. And maybe like flow in between areas here on the bridge. It's like here. This was all on land. This is all land. This was definitely all land. Oh, it's still nighttime. Whoopsie. There we go. Oh, whoopsie. Ew, it's... Ew, chat. Ew. I forget what's here. I think it's probably something for Leonian Wars I made a note of, but I don't remember. You know what? I'll take a shot of it later. So this was probably all water originally. See, this is why I'm saying an asset map would be really great, because if we could just do this and be like, okay, this asset, this asset, this asset, and we could just have that all pinged here on a map, imagine how useful this could be, because then we could be like, okay, here's where all those assets are on the lake, and then we could just be like, okay, so if that's where land was, then where would it not be? And then we could be like, okay, this could draw as a line. And then we could see if maybe the developers actually thought through where they were placing all these objects. Because, yeah, like, stuff like this, I'm like, okay, this feels like open enough space that I could totally see there being just a normal, river/lake. Then you have to, though, consider that you get to the buildings here, so this is all land. Yeah, but you can tell these trees are very recent, because, like, just look at how many of them are just amongst the buildings here, like, growing on top of roofs and stuff. Dead trees here, right? We're past the halfway part, though, where the... Because I think the conifers start around here, if I recall correctly. Or maybe it's, like, closer to here. They start somewhere around this point. Absolutely not volunteering to map out every single tree, don't worry. This is stuff that I'm like, okay, we need the algorithm to do that. Items, I can see human ability covering. Trees and assets, no. I'm not gonna ask anyone to do that. That's just way too much boring, busy work. It'll have too many errors. It'll have too many missing pieces. It just won't work. Oh, this was probably on land. Oh, this was probably... This all had to be on land. Right. Stillwater Cave. So all the water from the lake eventually ends up dumped in here, where of course it stagnates along with all the pollutants that the lake and stuff brings with the river flow, and thus we get this. The curious part is we have evidence here of people in this area, so why? Oh! Now I know why. There's glintstone here. This is gonna be a mine. Haha, you should go to Karia Manor. No. By the way, Loki, I meant that soft cut item found on the corpse is part of the tools tab of the inventory. Using it muffles your fee. Wait, so did you think it was an item used for crafting or something? You didn't think it had an effect on its own? Actually, is it used for crafting? I actually don't recall. Yeah, I don't have enough items here anyway. Crystal Cave Moss. No, actually, no. This is separate from what we get in other areas, so no. Okay. Then we have normal cave moss here. Okay. This just tells us the water's gotten into this area and it's laced. Glowstones. Still flowing, just keep flowing. Bless me, chat. Oh, Lord bless me. Evidence. I think most caves have these stalactites, so I guess that's not too new. Oh, I'm rotted. It hurts. Gross. I love it. The two places where people die. Guess I'm not exactly sure what people were constructing down here with these caves. I guess this could be the Kindred of Rot's, the Cult of Rot's work. I suppose. Oh, darn. Oh my god. You can do this, Loki. It's just a bit weird. Because I don't think other caves that they take over do this. Like, correct me if I'm wrong, I don't think this happens in the cave down in Weeping Peninsula. I don't think we have this same level of dedication to infrastructure. Sick Loki mic ASMR. Wait, was something going on with my mic? Sorry, chat. I'm probably at an odd angle. See that they're using their big weapons in their left hand? The Melania folks, you mean, I assume? Or these guys? They do have their left. No, I think it's mostly right hand that they would use for. I forget. It's been a while since I played baseball. I forget how you hold a bat. I want to say left hand on top means working with left, but oh no. There we go. Oh, they literally don't load it this far. Okay. Umbasa. Oh, the ASMR's because of the sneeze. I get it now, Nerdy. I was like, wait, did I do something to my mic? Oh, no. So I don't know why the Corpse with the Sword model by it has soft cotton on it and the Serpent God Curve sword doesn't. Maybe they moved it. It's possible. It's possible that's left over. Because you have to keep in mind, sometimes what they'll do is they'll have a corpse and they'll have, like, different items on it and they'll change it up. And they forget to change the corpse or they don't bother. Because, you know, it's a small detail, so someone can easily miss it, right? Like, there's a lot of corpses where I didn't notice they had weapons until, like, a second or third check, so... It's a really easy to miss detail. Purified Ruins, we know. Nothing Radigan here. There's no Church of Radigan in this area, right? They're all either here, here, or on Altus. I mean the Clean Rod. I've talked about their handiness before. I believe you said you thought that they were ambidextrous. Yeah, because they use weapons in both their hands, right? They seem to wield them pretty proficiently in both hands, so... I would suggest they're possibly ambidextrous. Which, again, kind of goes with the idea of them being highly skilled, right? Like, it doesn't matter which hand, even if it's, like, their quote-unquote worst hand, they still have excellent, excellent dexterity. Bellum has a Radigan statue, yeah, the Bellum Highway. Yeah, so I probably want to try to map out this entire lake with the trees and stuff. Another stream, or we'll just go through. But the way I'm seeing it, the fact that we have so many trees clustered here, right next to the temple quarter, which obviously has to be on land with all the buildings and stuff, right? This tells me that the lake didn't go any further from here. So the question is... How far did it go on the east side? I imagine it did go... It at least had rivers or something flowing through and by because of the bridges. I don't think they would bother with these bridges if they could get around the water. Yeah, see, it's just an entire wall. And it's like, okay, all of this was originally not lake. Which I think actually makes sense, because isn't the cave here? caves here. Yes, it's like, okay, water. Also signs here that there were a lot of trees. So yeah, probably like flowed like in between here. Get more with the trees, with the mangroves here. Okay, these guys here. This is interesting how we find them just below, We're a little far from the dragon, so I don't know if we can blame the dragon. Same with the cave. So yeah, I wonder if the guys who are guarding this area were not all willing. Or maybe people who met the guards got killed unexpectedly. Alright, we go over here. And more smithing stone. There we go. Water! More of these guys. I know we find them like around here. I can't remember how far they go over here. We find them over here. 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 So they just cover this entire area here. This entire area with the lake and stuff. I wonder if a lot more people died on the way to Kingsfield Ruins than I initially thought. Sorry, King's Realm Ruins, Kingsfield Ruins, lol. Oh! I didn't know you existed. This is unusual too. We don't usually see Cape ones do this. Only 3 niggers, huh? So these are nobles loyal to the Cuckoos. Nah. Uh-huh. guys here. Gosh, I'm tired, chat. I don't know what came over me. Apologies. The Claymore Night Sword, item description says mainly uses a backup weapon in combination with a long-handled armament. Interesting. I think the vines on the fountains in Karia Manor have red on them, but that could be carried over from being copied and pasted from somewhere. Red on them, huh? That's true. That's true. That could be a case of copy-pasting. But, hear me out, Xavier. Hear me out. Recall what I said, what I posited, I should say, my shower thought, during that other stream, where I said, what if these red vines with the leaves are used to designate buildings which come from, Crucible era, or at least that either were built or existed since the Crucible era. That would be consistent with that. The idea that the completed Karia Manor was built way back during the Unification Wars, when obviously Godfrey and his Crucible Knights were first taking over the plateau, and then the Karians took it from there. So that does work with that hypothesis. So, nothing to disqualify the possibility yet, so that's an interesting thing to keep in mind. Again, we'll have to see how consistent it is, because we don't know where it's used elsewhere. Like, are there any in Stormvale? I don't recall seeing anything like that. Okay, well, how about, Fallen Leaves tell a story. Anyway, what would be another good example of this? Like, how about Castle... No, Castle Soul wouldn't have it because of the cold. I guess maybe, like, some of the highway towers and stuff. I can't remember if we confirmed that already. Like, I don't remember if Highway Lookout Tower has it or not. Uh-huh. No one cares about your howling. Go away. Alright, that was a lot of searching. Okay, so we have Bellum Church, yada yada yada, go all the way down to Weaving Peninsula. My pilgrimage is over, yay! We know about the conifers here. But the conifers all around here, and up there. This one's a bit interesting to me because we don't have any evidence of people actually settling here before America comes in and builds this village. I wonder if the Liurnians came here to study the old ruins. Like, they came from the north here. This area probably didn't have this bridge here at the time. Because the tree tiling and stuff they specifically did for this highway and things, so... Let's take a look at this real quick. The vines on top of the area you walk above don't have red, but have white flowers. You mean the area with the wolves, right? In Karia Manor? Or am I talking about a place I just passed? So yeah, we have all the conifers here. We have our favorite boy coming out during the broad daylight, because it's technically night. Guess these are like basic, Am I crazy, chat, or are these yellow? Huh. Is this true for all of them? I wonder if that's a Farm Azula thing we can spy. I guess it could also be because of the... It could also be because of the power in the ruins, like the glowstones and the ruin fragments and all that stuff have light. So it could be there's power of gold there. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. I think game crashed. Fun fact, when Morgott himself uses Cursed Blood Slash or his grab attack, his sword gets covered in an effect similar to blood grease. Oh! That would make sense given it's his blood, so... Oh my. Oh, unlike when you use... Okay, so unlocks... So unlike when you use Morgott's Cursed Asher 4, which covers the sword in... Okay. So let's see. So it's blood grease for Morgott, but for us, it's similar to Blood Flame Blade incantation. I wonder if that's a holdover from like the stuff that they had in, like, what was it, like one of the I remember they changing the cutscene or something so that, like, he had flame, but then he had, like, he stopped having flame on his sword or something. Is that right? So that might be a leftover from that. Woo! Right again! Go here. Oh, well, there we go. Wait, did I mess something up? I probably did. Yeah, I messed something up. Let's just go up here. I could have swore the grace point was like here. Yeah, there it is. Okay. Game? There we go. Yeah, so you have the conifers up here. Oh, wow, they're green. Or is that supposed to be black? I'll be honest, I wasn't expecting this. So yeah, I thought they were yellow originally, but yeah, they really aren't. It looks green from here, but that might just be the size. Actually, it's kind of like two layers, one more black than the other. Of course. God, the Urnian weather. That is so bizarre. I was like, maybe to show how they've been charred by the frenzy flame, maybe? God, Jumpy Boy's annoying me. There we go. So yeah, village here, battle possible here. There's no graveyard at this church, right? Yeah, I think it's just the church. Okay, yeah, so... Stone sword key. Huh. Now it doesn't really look burned. Good night, guys. Night, Nardi. I remember, let's see. His cutscene had a yellow flame when he broke his stick. I remember because it could be confused with Frenzy Flame. Oh, that's interesting. I assumed it was supposed to be the yellow of, like, the Vengeful Spirits or something, right? Because those kind of have a yellowish flame to them, too. What I was talking about with the vines are the white flowers. They are on some structures when you're walking on the network of bridges above the manor, walking to the manor upper level side race. Oh, I see. So the upper level there is in the bridge stuff. Okay. Gotcha. These white flower vines can also be found in the Cathedral of Manicelis and the entrance to the cave that leads to the ruin-strewn precipice. Oh! That precipice one's interesting. Hmm. Yeah, it stops about here-ish. Yeah, I see it now. It stops, like, right here. That's the cutoff point. So there's evidence that they've been to the old ruins, but that's where they stopped, basically. Yeah, it literally cleanly stops right where the old ruins are. Obviously, we have some here, I think. So that's not a shocker. Uh-huh. Room bear. It's hard to figure out if these are... I don't want to say they're solely for that they're solely for these guardians here to the mausoleums. They could be, because there's like, what, 4 of them, and this is very big, so it would not be insane. We have the converted Fringe Tower here. We have, of course, all these things here. And again, keep in mind, if I recall correctly, converted Fringe Tower has sorcerer balls and stuff, which implies that sorcerers were fought here. We also have evidence of sorcerers being buried here. So it might be, I wonder if it's sorcerers were buried here, and the non-sorcerers that died in the battle were buried here at the other coffin cemetery. Yeah, that might be it. I don't want to potentially mess up shots in the future, so let's go to my sorcerer character and investigate that. Is that the only headless knight with which has a deathblight sword? I actually don't know. Maybe? I don't recall the knights very well, so I don't really pay attention to them that much, so I feel like I'm gonna be a good judge. I just don't remember. Look at that. We have a barrier here. I forget, what's the item that was in this section? Something special, right? Guy's using necromancy. Still not exactly sure what these guys are doing here. There's something particularly that makes me go, oh, America worship. Right? Again, I question why you would build your catacombs with a waterlogged area. And if you did it, actually, maybe this area wasn't supposed to be waterlogged, because I don't see any of those pipe things that we commonly see in some of the others. But still, the point stands. Some of them do have obvious, like, sewer sections, and I don't know why you would want that in a catacomb. Damn it. Times 5 speed, such an awkward. Yeah, we only have sorcerers here. What about back here? We do. We found America statue, huh? So yeah, that might put a wrench in it. Found the statue typically used to denote America. So yeah, it doesn't stop it from being a sorcerer graveyard. It just can't just be a sorcerer graveyard. It's very unlikely they would have sorcerers be getting this sort of like quote-unquote Erdtree but pagan burial, and they would have a Statue of America here. Unless we can maybe confirm other burials that might have done this. Like, I don't think there's America statue in this grave, but we know that buried, where is it? Yeah, here at the Rosing Catacombs. But we know that there's there's Crucible Knights buried here, so it doesn't matter in that case. This one I know has something there because they have the altar thing. I think that's it for catacombs, right? Yeah, that's it for catacombs. Anything down here? There's Tombs Ward. Which I don't recall ever confirming what exactly they did. Yeah, these have an America statue, though. I don't remember if I ever confirmed Like, I think the idea was that there may have been battles that happened here, and so they were buried here, which makes sense, because they have to go all the way to the Tower of Return with, like, its little mini fort thing going on. I should have visited that graveyard more often. I don't remember anything that's there anymore. I think there's like a death incantation or something there, but that's like all I remember. But yeah, I think I vaguely recall. I think I determined that it was probably supposed to bury like members of the Banished Knight fighting and all that stuff. So again, yeah. Honestly, actually, those are pagans too, and yet they receive burials with like America statues present. So it could still be a sorcerer-only graveyard up here. Because what's good for the goose is what's good for the gander, right? So this could be like, okay, all the sorcerers we buried here, and now we bury also guardians for the mausoleums that are over here, right? Yeah, the coffin cemetery here. Obviously, you have the grave here. I'm gonna get rid of these because they're not very useful. Like, big whoop. We know that we know there's graveyards here. That's nothing special. That's not informative. This is a little far from the catacombs, so I'm okay with keeping it. Any other catacombs which have, like, graveyards right outside them? Wyndham. Yeah, nothing here. Ariza. Okay, good, because I want to mark this stuff here. So we got the graveyard here behind the village, which I'm okay with. But it's the other stuff I also want to grab. So I don't forget this in the future. Yeah, if those haven't checked Loki latest, I have a draft for Altus Unification Wars up. It's mostly gonna be the same as my Godfrey doc, but it's gonna have a few more details and stuff I didn't yet include in the doc. Plus, lots of information on the America, my current theories on that. It's gonna be interesting comparing to see how much my work right now holds up when the DLC comes out. Again, I'm not expecting the DLC to add too much stuff outside of Mikla and things, but hey, I could always be surprised. Yeah. I'm willing to get surprised. Okay, yeah, so this graveyard, I'm considering it just an extension of this graveyard because, you know, it's literally, you know, right next to it. So I think the idea is just, hey, let's give them a way to get back down from there. And then you have these. There we go. Much better. Much more complete list for my own sanity and my goldfish memory. Because I know I would have forgotten about it if I gave it like a month. So let's see. Alright. So let's quickly trace the giant war, because that'll happen after Godfrey's reign, right? So, well, Godfrey, the Altus Unification Wars, right? So Banished Knight equipment. And Exile Soldier. Well, you know what? I'm going to simplify it and just call it the Farum equipment. So it's Farum equipment to show us that there was a battle here. Presumably all those that died in this battle were taken and buried in, like, Lanedel's catacombs or some shit. Actually, isn't there, like, another catacombs next to the Lanedel catacombs? I can't remember now. There is the graveyard where the Three Fingers is, but that doesn't have a burial chamber, so I'm gonna assume that that's all, like, decorative or, like, you know, pointless add-on stuff, because they were like, ah, we're symbolically burying all of you who worship the Frenzy Flame, but we don't worship the Frenzy Flame. Well, that's not what Jaburi said. Yeah, so we have all the farm equipment here, because this is where this was battled, and this equipment's been left over ever since, because who's gonna bother cleaning it up in the Forbidden Lands, quote-unquote, right? The only people that go through here are officially sanctioned. Right, so we go here. Yeah, skip. Skip. Return to Lindell! So nothing. It's all clear. We have the Zamor ruins, which, again, I'm not exactly sure what destroyed the Zamor. I suppose it's possible that the Giants during the war did this, but then why have the Zamor done nothing to rebuild their village? It all kind of suggests that something more recent happened. Yeah, you just have the item here. But still kind of weird. See, I'm not exactly sure why the Zamor did it. We do find a lot of Stormhawks here, so there may have been... perhaps they were occupied at some point? Oh, you know what? It's possible it's possible it was the Fire Monks. They may have destroyed the ruins more recently. And the Zamor drove them off after they destroyed their city, right? And they haven't had the chance to rebuild. It's possible something like that happened. We do see, like, the execution spikes and stuff here, which doesn't really serve a purpose unless there was plans to execute, you know. Yeah, I think that makes the most sense in this case. Yeah. But yeah, we have the Stormhawks that are around this area. We got 2 here. We got more here. I think that's it over here. Yeah, none of the trees or anything like that. So maybe these are like birds that were part of like serving some of those banished knights, and now they're out in the wild because they escaped, unlike their masters who, well, you know, got captured. Captured and killed. Either way, not important. We have this catacomb here. Yeah, this is Ghost Flame, okay. I wonder if there's a significance to what statues are used where. I have to double check what all the statue masks are. I know I've been through here so many times, but I keep on forgetting how this place works. Because I keep thinking this area, for some reason, has blue torch flame, but it doesn't. Oh, that's why! Because there's the second... I'm wondering why I'm so confused here, but yeah, now I know why. Okay, let's take this other one. Is this why? So this is regular Ghost Flame stuff, right? What about this? Still Ghost Flame. Why why do I remember it being... Oh, yeah, because there's a magic boy here. Yeah, that's okay. There's a sorcerer here! The cold stuff. I think that's consistent for all the catacombs here, so I don't think that's a good judge. America! And this has, like, someone inside the ashes in here, I think, right? No, the manor graveyard I was talking about in the message above that one. Do you have pictures of the birds in the cuckoo church? I have pictures of the birds. I don't know if I have any of them alive, though. I have to double check that. By the way, there are harvestable root resin in the graveyard by the Caria Manor. No, the manor graveyard I was talking about in the message above that one. Okay. Okay, I see what you mean. So, we're talking about the white flowers on those platforms, and then in the graveyard above that, there's root resin. Huh. I mean, that does confirm it's an Erdtree burial, for sure. So if anyone had any doubts, not that I did. Huh. I don't know if this guy shoots fire or not, huh. But okay, we do have this guy here. I have to double check the items for this area, but I was like, okay, I'm not crazy. I remember there being several sections to this, so. Also, correct me if I'm wrong, this is like the Nox style of like lever, right? And they use it for like everything. Like, I think anything that's like supposed to be fancy, they use this Nox lever. Which, again, is one of the reasons why I'm not 100% sold on Wade Gates being Noxian technology. Just because it's just so commonplace, the way they use them. Alright, so this is a different way down. Stream's still up, nice. Yeah, it's probably going to end soon, though, Night Scout, so... So how does dead bird watching relate to Radigan tonight? It doesn't. I just want to, I wanted to title that because we are going to be looking at the birds after this. That's probably going to be the last thing we do. Ow! Yep, that's still Ghost Flame. Okay, I'm not crazy. Okay, yeah, now I remember what it was. Ow! Now I remember, because it's two sections. It's the one section, which is generally normal, and it has the Sorcerer Boy, right? And then you have the other section, let me get in here, that has the typical, what's it called? The typical America stacked on top of each other with multiple layers of deja vu. This is why my hypothesis was that this was a collaborative project between surviving stargazers, not necessarily sorcerers, mind you, but at least surviving members of those astrologers, and America's peeps, or America personally. So it's like, okay, this wasn't made until probably America started, you know, working on, like, the burial process in the aftermath of the Giant War. So she sets up the Church of Repose. Obviously, we know what happens to all the Giants here. We know what happens to the Warriors here. But that seems to have been handled by the Fire Monks, mostly. It seems this might have been where America put her focus on, not on the heroes, but on the other people. Probably because she was putting most of her efforts into killing the Giants. The graveyard near the Royal Grave Ever Jail. Oh, that one has the root resin? Well, it has the Those Who Live in Death, so that's not surprising. I wonder how common that is. Nothing, right? Yeah. There we go. Yeah. They all this. This one's especially curious because we don't really see these guys in this area, and yet they went out. Miyazaki went out of his way to have them make sure they're in here, which does make me curious. And we have a super big one here too. Ow! Super big one here too. I keep falling for those stupid traps. America statues, because America loves her own handiwork. Yeah, this is the way back home. I keep falling for it, Chad. I'm an idiot. Nothing else here. This is a big one, right? Big! Ow. We have Deathroot down here, too, huh? Deathroot, but no those who live in death, oddly enough. So why have these guys moved here? Again, it could just be excused by Marika being whimsical in her prankish nature. So she went out of her way to do something like this. But I'm trying to see if there's maybe a deeper reason to have them here. The entrance to the Hero's Grave we start in does have Ghost Flame. It only transitions to the standard Hero's Grave Pale Yellow after the Stone Sword Key Gate. That's the one with the library, right? So, that's interesting too. So it was very standard up until that point, specifically with the Fire Monks, huh? And then we're back here. Now we want to go this way. And that takes us back here. Such a cool little setup here. Anyway, Speaking of the Stargazer runes, if they were still occupied and somehow related to Renala around the time of the Fire Giant War, is it possible the Stargazers turned against the Fire Giants? Possibly, yes, but I don't see a lot of good evidence to that effect. The way it looks, Night Scout. Again, actually, you know what? We'll get to it because I'm going through I'm going through the step by step on my thought process on this so far, right? So I'm reviewing it anyway. So if something new pops, oh right, I forgot. I set this up myself. Marika, you prankster, you. Hiding this section. Okay. There we go. Again, I forget what the ashes are that are buried in the sorcerer portion, right? So, forgive me. My memory is very foggy, but yeah. So, this seems to be okay. Regular people post Giant War, heroes post Giant War, including the Giants, because you know. Betrayal is not an easy thing to join the winning side. Bravery. Fighting for a people you don't feel kinship to. I do find it interesting how the Fire Monks don't even exist yet, and yet Godfrey and company are building these, building this little highway thing with this symbol matching the Fire Giants. It does add to the idea they probably encountered Fire Giants at Wyndham before this war. I'm also starting to think that the troll that we encounter in the Limgrave Tunnel is actually one of the trolls who was like, you know, with the giants over at Wyndham and stuff, and that he got like heavily injured but survived, so like he got exiled with the rest. But it's like, well, we could use him for labor building Stormvale Castle, but let's just have him dig up stone down here instead. You know, much less chance he's gonna screw something up stacking bricks, right? If he's just instead just digging up rock. It would also explain why he still holds the holds the fire thing, when the implication with the Altus Tunnel Giant is that he discarded his fire. He's still holding it, obviously, as the boss, because Miyazaki, same thing with the Leonine Misbegotten, they don't swap out the weapons, even though they apparently, you know, quote-unquote wield them, except for the Ratigan one. But the idea seems to be that the guy abandoned his fired, you know, his Fell God hammer thing, and then picked up the Erdtree branch to show his allegiance, right? So this is a guy who's a veteran of the Giant War, and he ends up being sent into the old Altus Tunnel, since he can't help as any other way because he's brain damaged. So, okay, Godfrey recruits the Zamor, like we said, maybe fought Banished Knights occupying it, and that's why there's still Stormhawks lurking in the area. But, I don't know, you could also maybe make the argument that these Stormhawks are those who got away from the battle happening in the Forbidden Lands. Like, maybe they flew back up here and kind of took roost. Like, I could see it going either way, so it's not necessarily a battle happening here. Then we go this way, right? Then we got more battle here. More battle, more battle. Leftover weapons, farm weapons for that battle. There's also a barrel around here. Some leftovers of, yeah, there's leftover camp equipment too, right? So, yeah, see? Weapons here, barrel, so leftover stuff there. So Godfrey and people make the road, they push across, they get intercepted here when they're trying to make it up onto this little plateau area. They do, they make their way over here. Yeah, we have the two graveyards here, which again, some of that could be related to this conflict here. Could also be related maybe to having the little stepping stool graveyard we have here, you know, the little platforming. But mostly the idea seems to be that, okay, they now make their way up the slope. And this is where the serious fighting happens. So they have to cut off for Castle Sol. We see all the normal human corpses and stuff, blah, blah, blah. Then there's the giant section of this graveyard as we get deeper in. Okay, now you have Soul and Stargazer's runes at either side. So you gotta cut this off before you... Oh! No! I'm dead! Seems to be Fire Monk Ashes. Thank you, Night Scout, for clarifying. Okay, yeah, so if Fire Monk Ashes are buried here, then yeah, it's probably up. That's probably the signal of, oh, okay, this is post-Giant War. Because they're burying people from post-Giant War in here, too. The Stone Digger Troll does have a note you buy that tells you he has a scar on his head or something, has a weak spot specifically for some reason. Yeah, there's a, I want to say, if I recall correctly, I think the note says Battle Scar or War Scar, but I have to double check the Japanese. It's been like a few weeks since I read that, and it was just something where it's like, oh, neat, and I included in the, I think I included in the most recent draft of the Godfrey doc, but yeah. Anyway, okay. So then we have them battling all the way up here. We have leftover remnants of the battle here. The Stargazers is reduced to ruins. There are a few survivors who probably escaped to Castle Sol, hence why there's Albinorics that are kept there. Obviously, when O'Neill, because they also fought here, eventually surrenders and stuff, and now it's under Erdtree Order command, the Albinorics become tortured like those in the Nox Quarter in Langdell, right? So they end up becoming like playthings for the Erdtree Order. And then, of course, some of the survivors who were, I guess, allowed to stay as, like, servants or whatever, were allowed to bury their dead here for those that got massacred. And as we know, they, as I said, they also likely helped with the construction of this catacomb down here. Might also be why the Cerulean Amber Medallion is still here, by the way. Godfrey era, focus on focus, which is generally associated with magic. Obviously, it can work with skills as well of all kinds, but we generally think of it as your mana bar. Versus, say, stamina or health, which might be more associated with, like, warrior physical fighting. We know how this goes, and yeah, nothing special here. So, okay, this gets raised. This ends up being a surrender thing. O'Neill gives the leg, so that goes to Godefroy. Then we have going to the church. They camp out here by the freezing lake. Marika has her big speech. The Banished Knights help build the Guardians garrison to mount the assault from on the Giants. They have their base of operations. God, this lake is big. First Church America! This is a very small graveyard here. I'm wondering if it's just the idea that the staff that were working here got buried, or if it's because one or two people actually came back, like when Marika was like studying, like, you know, creating the finger creepers and stuff. Anyway, we go here. We have our pet dogs and stuff for fire monks, but they're not important for the war. Go here, Guardians Garrison. We don't care. Woo! Here we get to the war. Those on the peak. No weapons. Yeah, and then we have Marika here, so the war's done. Marika sets up, Marika's like, okay, I can come in now, so she comes in, she starts helping with the execution. Yeah, okay. Yes, I think the Giant War is pretty straightforward, all things considered. The only part that I'm kind of vague on is whether or not the trolls received their gold sword weapons during the war or only after it. Because, like, right now in my analysis, I assume after, just to play it safe. But again, just because, like, that makes the more logical sense in terms of, like, okay, when did they have the time during this middle of the conflict to make all these, like, gold, gilded, swords for these trolls to use and stuff like that? Doesn't mean it didn't happen. But then again, we also don't have any evidence of any trolls who are, like, have their hair and fur from being up here buried in the Giants' hero's grave. So again, this could just all be they received their gold swords after the fact when they joined the order formally once the war's over and proved themselves. And the sword is like basically ceremonial. Yeah, nothing else here. Alright, let's go to Liurnia and finish this off, and then let me check what chat's got to say. Let me stay hydrated, chat. Water. Stormhawks could also migrate being birds. They have favorite homes, but the literally birds part makes it a bit harder to pin them down. No, I don't think they're migrating here. Because here's the thing, Night Scout. Hawks change their feather color very quickly. So this isn't like, oh, this isn't like one of those things where it's like, okay, they've been staying here for a very long time and they've kind of settled on here normally. And I don't think this is just a matter of, oh, you know, it's that season, right? Because, well, is it? There's a bunch of hawks that haven't left during quote-unquote the season, so I'm not sold on that. Anyway, let's see. Maybe the nascent butterfly become brighter blue and more solid because they get older finally and the mountain is their home, so we find them from there. I don't know. I'm desperate here. I agree, Xavier. I'm desperate too. The pattern with the, there's no pattern I'm finding with these butterflies. I'm at the point where I'm saying that they literally appear from water, but because water is literally in the ground, in the soil, and stuff like that, that means they can literally appear from anywhere. Like, that's how desperate I am right now to try to rationalize how these freaking butterflies are born. Would there actually be albinorks with the stargazers, though? Nice guy, I recommend checking my my recent doc on my recent Erdtree's Beginning doc. I go over the albinorks there. I think they have to do with the Nox and the Stargazer ruins working together, which leads to the settlement of Ordina. So basically, you have Nox from the Nameless Eternal City. They're given passage up to the mountaintops of the Giants. They hook up with the Stargazers ruins, and they're like, okay, we're buddy-buddy, powwow. Hey, some of you, come here and join us, and we'll settle our own little town down here at the other end of this river. Okay, yeah, that's cool. And, like, as part of those interactions, some albinorks get gifted here, and then basically some of them end up taking refuge here at Castle Sol while the rest of their friends are massacred. That's why we have some survivors. And then all these survivors end up living thanks to Niall surrendering. But of course, as we see, the albinorks seem to get captured and tortured because, haha, Erdtree Order, they're corrupted. And then, Erdtree Order, I should say. And then, like I said, the surviving servants probably, you know, they stay. So the surviving stargazers probably stuck around as like servants or something. Okay, so let me go. It's a butterfly. The hero's grave with the ghost flame at the entrance is the fringe folk hero's grave. Yeah. Let's see. Wait, for how long would Godefroy be, grafted if, Niall's leg from that long ago is still around to attach to him? I would say that I think Godefroy was grafting since basically the beginning. So, my current theory with the Godric and Godefroy and all that is that Godefroy is Godfrey and Marika's firstborn. For whatever reason, he's born like Godric, or he's not sickly. Maybe it's because Marika wasn't yet God, or what have you. Maybe just, like, really bad luck of the draw, whatever, right? Point is, he's not born like the others. I know the common theory is Godwyn, but I think that based on just the way that the age thing seems to work out with, physically, of course, appearance-wise, I think Godefroy is more likely to be actually older than Godwyn. In fact, I'm thinking Godwyn may potentially be like right before the Ancient Dragon War. Like, I'm talking like probably like maybe around the time of the Liurnian Wars, after the Omen incident. Basically, Marika and Godfrey's make up sex. That's possibly when Godwyn is conceived, and that's why we don't see him in the timeline until the Ancient Dragon War, because that's the only battle he's really been in. Because he was a young, testosterone-filled man ready to fight and prove himself in combat and all that stuff, right? Versus old Godefroy, who doesn't make any impact during this huge conflict. And keep in mind, we have a lot of resentful heroes being buried here for the bell ringers the Revenant servants to worry about. Anyway, let's look at some birds while I talk now. Anyway, so I think Godefroy's been grafting basically since the beginning. That he was old, he was sickly, and the idea was to take that horticulture idea with grafting and just apply it to him. And yeah, they're alive. That's 100% a living bird. So they're not just dead. I know I have shots of dead ones. I don't remember if I have any shots of living ones. Coolio. This isn't a cuckoo, is it? I don't remember cuckoos having red eyes. Unless they're, like, mutilated. But I know some birds have, like, stuff like this, so I want to say no. I think this is supposed to be natural, but again, I'm not too familiar with bird species, so. The feathers kind of remind me of cuckoos. The way they pose themselves also remind me of the cuckoo symbols, right? Like the way that... Don't the cuckoos have a similar, like, hunch like this? The torture seems recent. Yes, I agree it's recent. Here's the thing. I don't think they killed the albinorks ever. I think they've been keeping them there and torturing them that entire time. Yeah, I agree, Night Scout. I don't think the torture, I don't think the torture stopped. It's not like, oh, we tortured them a long time ago. I think they just kept them around for, whenever, whoever was in charge of Castle Sol, besides Niall, whatever, demigod who got assassinated at Castle Sol was, there, stationed or whatever. I think they were just doing that for fun. Torturing Albinaurics for entertainment in this cold, wonderland. What kind of bird's on the telescope? I don't think so. I don't think it's this one, but I kind of want to know now. Where's the telescope? Here, okay. Cuckoos on the red parts, checked an image, thank you. I mean, the torture of everyone else up there, shoved in the cages. Oh yeah, that obviously additional people too. It's not just Albinaurics. You also have the citizen soldiers there. But we see the strung up soldiers at Castle Sol too, like the basic common soldiers, right in the first section when you're first going through the standard route in the castle. So yeah, I think it's the same thing as, it's the same thing that we see with, Radon and Godric and others, where, there's just people who are like, hey, fuck this shit, I'm out, and then it's like, hey, no dissenting. And so they kill the people that don't have the spine to follow orders. Okay, yeah, so we go here. Yeah, this looks like a sparrow. I'm not too familiar with birds, but I think that's what it's called, a sparrow, right? It's not a hummingbird. I know hummingbirds don't have wings like this, right? Or maybe they do. I don't remember what their tails look like. Again, I wouldn't be too surprised if the bird species, in terms of the symbolism, varies. Just because of how this game and the design stuff works, but... It has a forked tail, if I recall. Yeah, you're right, Xavier. It has a forked tail. It doesn't. It's not the same as the cuckoos, though. I'm pretty sure the cuckoos have a normal tail, if I remember what we just saw. Also, Castle Sol was apparently working with Mikola, so one would think that Mikola would tell him to cut that out.
Where did he find my sweetings?
I mean, keep in mind, they're also not allowed to go to the Halig tree yet, so it's not like Mikola's accepted them. And it, again, depends on how much Mikola knows about what's going on there. Like, is he visiting the torture chamber? Does he know that they do the torture? Any more of those birds? Where are the cages? Okay, we have cages here, but are the birds alive or are they dead? No, they're empty. These are just empty cages. Okay. Wait, is it only the opening area that has birds in them? Dead or alive? Huh. Yeah, we know. Wait, I heard a bird. Is it just ambient noise, or are there actual birds here? Nope, no birds. Huh. The cages are empty! Well, if there were birds in there, they aren't anymore. I didn't realize you could break these. I've probably done it before, but oh my god, that's so funny. Their physics is like the most hilarious thing. You just punt a cage. Yeah, but there's no birds in them as far as I can see. Yeah, no bird. No bird, no bird. Okay, so no birds here. Yeah, I know. She's up there. Your wife's up there, Noble. Go get her. Don't worry, you can fix her. Yeah, I do like the little added detail of including the bones with the wolf boss. It's like, ah, yes, we feed him people. Healthy and hardy. Nope. They're empty. Yeah, no birds. Oh, but bird here. Chat, I found it! I found a bird! Okay, so bird, that's one. I think there's one in there, too. And in here, too. Bird! And it's alive! Bird! And it's alive! If this is a cuckoo, it's a weird or rare species that Google image doesn't immediately show, I imagine. The pose is definitely, like, with the weird hunch, is definitely, like, giving me that vibe. And the way the wing is shaped. I have to double check the symbol and see it side by side. You know what? Let's get a shot of that, actually, just so I don't forget. Oh my god, it doesn't show it. Yes. God, this is hard, chat. There we go. Yes, I am a bird. And... no, you're not needed. Alright, chat, that's how you can figure out whether they got birds or not in them. Can you destroy the cage? Nope. Bird forever trapped. God, I love this game. Oh no, you can not break them even if they have no bird. Darn it. I thought I made a discovery. Oh no. More graveyard down there. I thought there was a way back up to the bigger section, but I guess not. Oh, maybe it's over here. Nope. Okay, I'm just crazy. It's a shortcut back up here, so you don't have to go all the way down. Gotcha. God, this game is too big for my goldfish-sized brain. And then we're back here, and birds are common again. No bird here, but bird in here. Okay, so the birds, it seems to vary depending on the exact area, but we do find a lot more. We find that the birds seem to generally stop after the wolf boss, which I guess makes sense. He might eat the bird, maybe, if they try to bring the birds back there. I don't know, but we do get the feathers everywhere, too. That's cool. Nice. Hey, Nobre! You want to know something that's harder, Loki? I have to receive 44 cards when you had 2 left. I had 2 cards! Get Uno and I would be at peace, but no! You were playing Uno and you couldn't get the... You had 44 cards in Uno? Isn't that like... Wait, does that mean you, like, drew the entire deck, Nobre? How the hell did you have that many cards? What, did, like, someone, like, stack +4s on you or something? Like, how do you get that? Like, that's, like... Did they, like, or was it, like... Did someone, like, get, like, a full round of +6s? Like... The spot's called the Church of the Cuckoo, if I, according to the Grace location. Yeah, this spot is, but, I'm talking about the area with, leading up to Renala from the Wolf Boss area. But this section is... Yeah, this is the Church of the Cuckoo up ahead with the Sorcerer. Thank you. I'm like, why is my controller not working? There we go. Then we have the graveyard. Then we have the classrooms, and classrooms have some birds. Then we get to the debate parlor with the wolf. And then, okay, yeah, and this is the garden. Okay, this is where I get confused. So these are the classrooms, right? Yeah, this is the classroom stuff. So this building is for the classrooms and things. This takes us up to the debate parlor. Yeah, this is the... It always confuses me. This is the classrooms over here, but the building looks like it should be over here. I think this is the tower in the cuckoo area. Is that right? With the graven mass right in the tower here, and there's the... What's it called? The page who's standing there. So yeah, this is the big courtyard area. This is the shortcut area with the leading up to Moongrum. This is, and then yeah, okay. I'm starting to be able to kind of like put this all in my head relative to the map. Yeah, there's the mountain. Yeah, so this up here is Renala's boss room. We're literally next to it when we first enter the area. There's the big tower. There's what I was talking about earlier with the... Yeah, this is this tower right here. Okay, so it doesn't go to here. This is just the big tower. This is where the what is it called? Graven Mass is? The Sorcerer Ball, as the Japanese put it. I much prefer the Japanese terminology here. Ball of Sorcerers, very self-explanatory. We're also starting to get some lag. I wonder if the game's starting to leak because we've been playing for 2 hours. Because God said to me, no, 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 Raphael, here you go. The Lord decided to give you a trial, Nobre. And unfortunately, you failed. You didn't get Uno. You're gonna have to explain that to Peter at the pearly gates now. Okay, yeah. Anything else before we log off here? Loki, what do you think about these Lazuli Conspectus mages and Rhea Lucaria? Are they traitors if they're side by side with the Carlos here, or do they indicate pockets of pro-Carian fighters? I honestly don't know, Night Scout. I've not given it much thought on, like, if there's, like, a civil war going on in the middle of the Civil War. I think it's possible. Miyazaki's done stuff like that before. So it could be that there's, if I, like, looked really deep into it, I'd find, like, a subtle, like, additional, like, layer to this civil war between the Carians and the Academy. I think Nardi has developed an idea of, like, all these sorcerers being on the pro-Carian side. I'm not sure if I'm there yet. Like I said, I have to look into it. But, again, I wouldn't say that it's on its face absurd, based on, like, precedent. I just need to know the specific circumstances here to see if that applies in this case. I could see at least some of them possibly being pro-Carian. It could be a thing where most of them are still traitors, but maybe some of them in the deeper areas aren't. Like maybe these guys are. I'm just gonna have to look into it and see. Because I could easily just see it being like Moongrum, his concern is defending Renala. Renala doesn't care about being captured because, you know, she's all about her rebirthing thing anyway. So it's like, oh no, we have, quote-unquote, captured the queen. We have restrained her. She's not allowed to leave. Okay, well, not like she was going to leave anyway, so why would Moongrum care, right? So Moongrum could just be standing here and kind of, quote-unquote, helping the traitors by virtue of the fact that he's complicit in her capture, because she doesn't want to, she's not showing any, she's not commanding him to stop, right? So, like, yeah, I just think there's options here, and I'm not sold yet on the totally of a civil war within a civil war quite yet. I have to look into the details more. Astrologers is still down the list. Also, what do you think about my theory regarding the tree iconography in Drang Lake Castle? By the way, that JPN name of the King's Passage, I think it's just King's Passage / Corridor Nobre, but let me grab it right now just to confirm for you. I vaguely recall that being the case. Let's see. Thank God this is so much easier than grabbing the Japanese text for Elden Ring. I really need to download that doc at some point. Let's see. King's Passage. There's a ring for it in Dark Souls 2, right? King's Passage. No, maybe items? Okay, yeah, key to the king. Okay, yeah. Yeah, King's Passage corridor. Nothing really special I can say about this term. Cairo, you know. It's basically accurate. Because, again, it's a reference to the idea that it's the passage that Vendrick went down before, when he, like, made his big departure from the court. Kind of his secret departure, but anyway, neither here nor there. I noticed a ton of Lazuli and Celia, too, between being Lazuli and rare Lazuli such Olavinus twin sages. There are like 9 Lazuli. There are more than any other mage. Interesting. The Celia Lazuli outnumber even the Carollos. I gotta get used to saying that name. I just want to call them the Carlos. The most popular and venerated school of mages. It could just be enemy variety, but I think that's definitely good numbers to have. It could also be like some of the Carlos were killed, but... Is it Moonveil made... Sorry. Is it Moonveil made by Celian Smith? Yes, I believe so. If I recall correctly. That's what the description says. So tomorrow will probably when you get those pictures if I don't get distracted. Oh, wait, let's see, what's it? I'm working on it, getting those pictures of the runes that show up in the final battle. I'll probably get to, killing, Malekith? Anyway, Malekith tomorrow, gotcha. So tomorrow will probably be when I get those pictures so I don't get distracted. I mean, go at your own pace, Xavier. Like, no rush, but it'll be cool seeing them if you do. They're all ghosts, so some Carlos being killed doesn't change those numbers. That's true, because their spirit's over in Celia. So that shouldn't affect the distribution number. Okay, guys, I think that's it. We did bird watching. We did a little bit of, going through areas that might be connected to Radigan, though not too much. We got to tour the academy either way. There's still a few things. I want to do on the screenshot side probably for Godfrey's reign, but I have to go check how the Altus Unification War is gonna play out. I have to see what screenshots I have and what I'm going to use, because we might need more stuff for these areas. I think we have the shots I need for Fort Lyde, but I have to double check if we have this graveyard properly. Lux, I'm pretty sure we're good on. Like I said, the big problem with Lux right now is the lack of a graveyard. Could be Burial at Wyndham Catacombs. But it could just be a case of Lux being used to siphon off gladiators, so that none of them were killed because they may have peacefully surrendered or something to that effect, and basically allowed themselves to be used for the striking on Wyndham. And if so, that would explain why they may have been living there for a while, as they were slowly being brought in, incorporated into the gladiator arena over time. But again, that's still a vague area I've got. We got these. I think we have all the screenshots I want of this stuff here. Yeah, so that's all good, I think. This will be the graveyard for Ancient Dragon War. So this will be Altus Unification War. This doesn't appear till later. Actually, I want to double check something with the merchant. Oh no, the merchant's dead in this book. Lol. Merchant's dead. I'll look it up on a wiki or something later. Then we have up here, again we have the graveyard here, we have the graveyard down here. Yeah, the problem with these graveyards is it's hard to determine whether these are graveyards because a battle happened here, or this is just a graveyard because, you know, it's a village. People eventually die and they'll get buried. It could go either way. It could be both, right? It could be, So it's one of those things where I'm just gonna be like, okay, this may be a sign of more battles because we have a graveyard here. And that's what makes Lux stand out, because it doesn't have its own graveyard. Actually, let me double check. Is that true? Or is it just that I haven't been able to spy it because I'm terrible exploring? What do you think the theory I came up with? The statues of the knights being the chosen undead as Lord, feeding his life into the tree slash for flame. If there are two humanity, then being either Vendrick and Aldia, or Vendrick and Nashana taking care of such tree as Drayling. Oh, so you mean the tree imagery in the King's Passage. I don't know, I have to look at the theory that you have. I've not been checking the Discord for the lore theories that closely. I checked, like, Elden Ring one earlier, I recall, because I think Night Scout said a few interesting things, along with, other people answering my, him and, God, I forget the other name. I'm sorry, Chad, I don't remember all of you. Answering one of my questions for Elden Ring, so I'll have to look over it. I'll check right now, after stream. I'll probably sleep on it, knowing me. Do we have a coffin cemetery here anywhere? Or any type of graveyard? Nope. This is like the only option I can think of. This leads to Godofla. Ah! Bless me. Yeah, I'm sorry, chat. I'm tired. I'm yawning. I'm sneezing. I'm still recovering from my sore throat from yesterday. Because of all those late nights I've been doing due to my crazy schedule this week. Again, apologies for the on and off streams. Yeah, nothing obviously here. This is way too far for a graveyard. How about here? Have I, like, missed a drop-off point? Is there, like, a graveyard hanging on the sides here? Nope. Nope, nope. Nope. Nope, nope. Nope. Yeah, nope, this is all clean. This would be so weird, chat, after I've been doing this for so long with the ×5 speed. And then, like, going back to the Let's Play and playing it normal. Like, I'm not gonna lie. It'd be funny if I end up being, like, I actually beat Melania because I'm so used to ×5 speed that Melania actually looks slow to me now. That would be so hilarious. It'd be like, I see you moving, Melania. You can't surprise me. Yeah, nothing. How about here? Maybe if we went around this corner? Nope. I don't see it still. Yeah, so just no sign of a graveyard. So barring it being, like, cut content. First thing I was like, maybe that was a, grave, but no, no platform. Yeah. So it's just the Lux Ruins. So either the Lux Ruins was destroyed, everyone was enslaved, taken here, and if they died, they'd be buried in Lingdell. So no one being buried here. Or they were slowly siphoned off that way over, like they were allowed to like exist until the until all of them were forced to vacate as gladiators. Like it's possible they kept this area around to like train them or something to become gladiators before taking them to the arena. Hence why we see the one of the talismans left behind. That's one possibility. And then it was left to fall to ruin over time, and then obviously we know the demi-humans moved in. They're like, where's our friends? Well, doesn't matter. I guess it's our home now. Again, or they were buried in the Wyndham Catacombs, but that would be kind of a bit weird, because it's like, okay, why not just give them their own graveyard? Again, I say that, but it's possible that's because there were no Erd Tree roots in this area, so therefore they, the Catacombs was the best bet. That's another possibility. Anyway. Loki, why is Melon a Glowmite Queen? I'm not answering that question right now, no break. Especially with all those emotes. There's a Dragon Cult cookbook in Wyndham's Catacombs, so I think Wyndham stayed intact until the death. Like, oh yeah. I think again, I mentioned this in the Godfrey doc. I think it was used as a staging ground for the banished knights that attacked with the camp down here, right? So I think they were using this, and I think the fact we have a Sun Capital Knight among the skeletons tells us that, okay, yeah, there were probably farm warriors there up until the Deathblight took over. Relatively recently. So like post second defensive lane Dell, at least actually yeah, with the bodies and stuff here, possibly really relatively recently. Like we're talking like maybe like weeks, months. Anyway, chat, I've been like going on here like racking my brain to you guys, but I think we're gonna end the things here. Lux being named Light outright and having a ritual duelist talisman reminds me of it being rich person's bill. I think talisman wouldn't be there if they were captured and made duelists after the fact. They'd be randos at the time of abduction. Again, the light is because this entire area is associated with the day / the sun. Night Scout. Hence, you know, Fort Lyde, which is again another reference to light. Of course, Shaded Castle. Obviously, Lowdale. So, yeah. Hey, we're gonna end things here, chat. So, again, I know you guys, I could chat forever, but I need to sleep, so later. Peace.